All right, so we're diving deep today
Yeah.
into the life of this guy, River McCallahan.
Oh, okay.
Now, he was born in September 1914
Okay.
in Longview Township in Ashley County, Arkansas.
Got it.
And
Sounds familiar.
spent a good chunk of his life along the Saline River.
This.
Yeah,
Rare.
running his bait shop,
Oh, I
taking people out fishing and hunting,
Mm-hmm.
guiding them along the waterways.
That sounds like a really interesting life.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that he passed away in May 1992.
Oh, okay.
But before he did, he started writing a book.
Really?
Yeah, it was like in the mid-70s, right around the bicentennial.
Okay, so 70s during the bicentennial.
Yeah, and so he was, in his early 60s then, and wanted to get down on paper his life in his community.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so the excerpts we have from this book are really special.
Oh, I bet. I mean, it's so interesting to think about that time period, the mid-70s and all the changes happening in the U.S., and then to see it through the lens of someone's daily life, like River down by the Saline River.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, these writings really offer you a unique perspective, and we're going to try to unpack that today.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, so let's picture this.
Okay.
It's November 1975.
Right.
Crisp autumn air.
I can imagine.
The smell of damp earth and wood smoke.
Oh, yeah, classic fall.
Yeah, classic fall, and we find River at this squirrel hunting camp.
Squirrel hunting, okay.
Yeah, in Longview Township.
Nice.
He's with his buddies, the guys he always hunts with.
Oh, so this is like a regular thing for him.
Oh, yeah, very familiar scene for him.
Okay.
He's just sitting on a hickory stump, sipping coffee.
Okay, just taking it all in.
Yeah, just observing everything like he's done 100 times before.
Yeah.
And one of his buddies, Doc Lambert.
Doc Lambert, okay.
Yeah, his real name was Mark Galen Pennington.
Oh, okay, Pennington, all right.
Yeah, Doc starts reminiscing about his first time at this very camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was only 12 back then.
Oh, wow, that must have been quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was. And he was there with his grandfather, Jim Pennington.
Okay.
And get this, Jim at that time still ran cattle
Ran cattle, okay.
across a large part of Longview Township.
Wow, a large part of Longview?
Yeah, can you imagine?
That's a lot of land.
So much land.
Yeah, that really shows you how much the county has changed, right? They talk about the land being divided up, the sawmills, coming in paper companies, setting up shop, right? It's a different world now than it was back then.
For sure, yeah. And River being born in 1914, he saw all these changes firsthand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got this unique perspective on how things have evolved.
Right, but it's not like everything's different.
Oh, yeah, of course.
River also points out those things that stayed the same.
Like what?
Well, like those heated arguments that always seem to break out at the sale barn.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Timeless tradition.
Yeah, I guess some things never change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So earlier that week, something pretty significant happened for River.
Oh, okay, what was that?
Donald's son, Jacob, stopped by the bait shop.
Donald's son.
Yeah, and he brought this old box with him.
An old box?
Yeah, and it'd been a while since Donald passed away, like 10 years.
Oh, wow. So this must have been a really emotional moment for River.
Yeah, Donald and River were close.
Yeah.
And so Jacob brings this box filled with Donald's stuff, old receipts, notebooks.
Wow, those are like little pieces of his life.
Exactly. And then there was this hand-drawn map.
A map.
Yeah, it had a circle and X on it and Donald handwriting. And it just triggered all these memories for,
Yeah.
conversations he had with Donald years ago about this specific place.
Wow, so this map is like a message from the past in a way.
Yeah, like Donald's still guiding him somehow, even after all these years.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so fast forward a few days, they're back at the hunting camp,
Okay, back at the camp.
and River and Doc are out on a hunt when they notice this smell.
A smell? Like what kind of smell?
Definitely not hickory smoke.
Okay, something else entirely then.
Yeah, so they follow their noses.
Right.
They find Clyde Harrelson.
Clyde Harrelson, okay.
Yeah, and he's running a copper still.
A moonshine still. Wow.
Yeah, it was quite a sight.
I bet. And what did Clyde have to say for himself?
He had a good laugh about it,
Yeah.
called the cultural preservation.
Cultural preservation. Huh?
Yeah, and get this. He claims Doc is his best customer.
No way.
Yeah, so it's all pretty lighthearted.
Sounds like it.
But it gives you a glimpse into those local traditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of makes you wonder what else went on in that community that wasn't exactly official but was a part of their way of life?
For sure. And Clyde even had a name for his latest batch.
Oh, really? What was it?
He called it Horsehead Hollow.
Horsehead Hollow, okay.
Yeah, and he described it as smelling like regret and tasting like tradition.
That's quite the description.
Yeah, right? Very colorful.
It is.
So later that evening, they're out on the Saline checking their trot lines.
Oh, yeah, the river.
Yeah, can't forget about the river.
Right, so central to their lives.
Absolutely. It's like the lifeblood of the community.
And while they're out there, do they talk about anything interesting?
Well, Jeffrey Howard.
Jeffrey, okay.
Yeah, he starts telling this story about a Civil War skirmish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it happened at Longview Landing in March of 1864.
Okay.
And apparently, Union cavalry surprised some Confederate troops there.
Oh, wow. A surprise attack.
Yeah, they captured a bunch of soldiers, took down a bridge, and even seized a Confederate payroll.
Whoa. How much was the payroll?
$60,000.
$60,000. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about that kind of money just disappearing.
Right. And it makes you wonder, is it still out there somewhere buried?
Maybe. And Jeffrey was saying that some folks feel a bit uneasy in certain areas because of that history.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's like the past is still lingering there.
Exactly. It's all connected. That is. So it's about 2 a.m. Things are quiet at the camp when this sound cuts through the stillness. Boat motors?
Oh, motors at 2 a.m.
Yeah, and voices calling out, Randy Hollis.
Randy Hollis.
It's eerie, right?
Yeah. Definitely makes you wonder what's going on.
Yeah, and Doc says this thing about the river.
What does he say?
He says the river doesn't give up its dead easily.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think about the hidden stories and maybe tragedies connected to the river.
Right. Like what happened to Randy Hollis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So as dawn breaks, River decides to head out.
Head out? Where to?
We don't know exactly, but he senses rain coming.
Okay.
And he gives Doc and his dog a quick goodbye. They're still asleep. But as he's leaving, he thinks to himself, something was out there and it wasn't just weather.
So it seems like there's something else driving him.
Yeah, like he's got a purpose now.
Right. Maybe that map from Donald's box is leading him somewhere.
Maybe. So we also learned a bit more about River's background in these writings.
Oh, yeah. What do we find out?
Well, his father was a cattleman and a landowner.
Okay.
And he went to A&M College.
A&M.
Yeah, it stands for Agricultural and Mechanical, and it's now the University of Arkansas at Monticello.
Oh, okay. UAM, got it.
But even though he went to college,
Yeah.
he was always drawn back to the river, to Longview.
Like it was calling him back.
Yeah, and he had this bait shop there.
Tell me about it.
It was this 2-story building built on stilts.
Stilts? Why stilts?
Well, I'm guessing because of the floods,
Yeah, the river can flood.
Yeah, so those stilts kept the shop safe.
Makes sense.
But it wasn't just a shop.
What do you mean?
It was a place where people gathered.
Oh, like a community hub.
Exactly.
Huh.
Hunters and fishermen would stop by.
Yeah.
Sometimes even stay overnight.
Oh, wow. So like an informal bed and breakfast.
Yeah, pretty much. And River's nephew Eli helped run things.
Okay.
And they used CD radios to communicate.
CB radios, huh?
Yeah, one at the shop and one in Eli's truck.
What kind of truck did he have?
A 1969 Toyota pickup. But sometimes they'd leave each other handwritten notes, too.
Oh, wow. Like actual notes.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about how much slower communication was back then.
Right. No texting, no instant messaging.
Nope, just good old-fashioned talking and note writing.
That's a different world for sure.
Yeah. So that evening, back at the camp,
Okay.
they're all sitting around the fire,
Yeah, I can picture it.
sharing hunting stories.
Sounds cozy.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some whiskey involved.
Probably right. Those chilly fall nights.
Exactly.
So what kind of stories are they telling?
Now, the usual hunting tales.
Yeah.
But River's got his notebook out.
Oh, so he's writing all this down.
Yeah. He's not just listening, he's documenting these stories.
That's cool. Like he understands that they're important to preserve.
Exactly. He doesn't want them to be forgotten.
Makes sense.
And some of the stories are pretty amazing.
Like what?
Well, there's one about a 12-point buck with these incredible measurements.
Wow, that's a big one.
And another one about a squirrel that was basically impossible to catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like this legendary squirrel.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how these stories become part of the community's identity.
Right, like their own local folklore.
Exactly. And we also get these little glimpses into River's personality.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, for example, he really loves strong, dark roasted coffee.
Okay.
And he prepares it in this very specific way.
Ah, so he's got a ritual.
Yeah, like it's a sacred act.
I like that.
As the night winds down, River starts thinking about the future.
Okay.
He writes about the whole year ahead and the whole county waiting to tell its story.
Wow, so he's really ambitious about this book.
Yeah, he wants to capture it all.
That's a big goal.
Yeah, and The next morning, he's off to Fountain Hill for breakfast.
Fountain Hill? Okay.
It's like the first stop on his journey to gather all these stories.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we also learn about River's deep knowledge of the Saline and Wichita rivers.
Right. He was a guide.
Yeah, a sought-after guide.
I bet with all that experience.
Exactly. He knew those rivers like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
The currents, the dangers, even the hidden history.
What do you mean by hidden history?
Well, things like old logging routes and even hidden cemeteries.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, he knew all the secrets those rivers held.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and for river guiding wasn't just about getting people from point A to point B.
What was it about then?
It was about sharing the stories of the land.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, connecting people to the history and the nature around them.
It's like he was more than just a guide. He was a storyteller, a historian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the locals saw him as more than just a guide, too.
Oh, really? How so?
They called him a fixture of the community.
Okay.
And a keeper of things no one else bothered to remember.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
It is, yeah. There were even rumors about him.
Rumors? Like what kind of rumors?
Oh, local myths and legends.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. But in his writings, he mainly focuses on his present life on the river and the stories of the people he knew.
Right, like that's what mattered most to him.
Yeah, and he had this incredible ability to read the river's moods.
Oh, yeah, like he could sense what the river was feeling.
Yeah, and he believed that the river held its own stories and secrets.
It's like the river was alive to him.
Exactly. And there were certain places along the river that he wouldn't disturb.
Oh, why not?
He felt like they were sacred.
I see.
Okay, so now for a really interesting part.
Okay, I see.
River writes about this journey he took
Okay.
to this hidden, unnamed site.
A secret spot.
Yeah, he describes it as scary and exhilarating.
Wow, that's quite a combination.
Yeah, so he sets out in his truck
All right.
with a backpack full of supplies.
What kind of supplies?
The essentials, lantern, map, jacket, water,
Okay.
but also some more unusual things.
Like what?
Moonshine dried meat and this special mushroom tea.
Mushroom tea. Where did he get that?
A Quapaw shaman gave it to him. Yeah. He had a map, but it wasn't very accurate.
So he's going in a little blind then.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
He follows this old tram road,
Okay.
and he finds this handmade railroad spike.
Handmade spike.
Yeah, it's pretty worn down, but you can tell it was made by hand.
Wow, that's a piece of history right there.
Yeah, it is. And then he has to go through this area that was hit by a tornado.
Oh, wow. So it's pretty rough terrain.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Makes sense.
And then he starts feeling the effects of the mushroom tea.
Oh, yeah, the tea.
Yeah, he describes this surge of energy and clarity,
Okay.
and his senses are heightened.
Wow. So it's like a psychedelic experience.
Yeah, kind of. And he even feels this presence of hidden native people.
That's intense.
Yeah, it is.
So he finally reaches the site.
Yeah, but when he gets there, he feels scared and lost.
Oh, wow.
And the map is no help.
So he's really on his own now.
Yeah, and he says that he wanted to ask permission to be there.
Oh, that's interesting. Why would he do that?
He learned that from his Quapaw connections.
Oh, okay. So it's like a sign of respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the energy of the place is just too intense.
Too intense.
Yeah, even though he tries to do breathing exercises, he can't handle it.
Wow, so there's something powerful about this place.
Yeah, and he understands why people avoid it.
Makes sense.
He mentions that different companies tried to buy the land for sawmilling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they never succeeded.
Almost like the land was resisting them.
Yeah, maybe. So he decides to leave quickly.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, but the journey back is tough.
Oh, how come?
He ends up east of where he started.
Wow, so he got disoriented.
Yeah, the site's energy and that inaccurate map really messed him up.
Yeah, I bet.
But even though it was a difficult experience,
Yeah,
it left a huge impression on him.
he never forgot it.
Nope. He calls it a wild, weird, and cool adventure that I will never forget.
That's a pretty good description, I'd say.
Yeah. So, moving on to another fascinating excerpt.
Okay.
River shares what his grandmother taught him about trees. Yeah, and it connects to indigenous knowledge.
Oh, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, so he talks about how indigenous people see trees as stand-in people.
Stand-in people, huh?
Yeah, they provide shelter and reflect the environment.
Like they're living beings with a purpose.
Exactly.
Like that.
And he mentions the beliefs of the Choctaw and other tribes.
Okay.
They believe that trees have consciousness.
Wow.
They embody the spirits of ancestors and protectors.
That's a beautiful way of looking at it.
Yeah, and they're connected to the spirit of the land.
It's like they're guardians of the land.
Yeah, and he also talks about the importance of sustainability in indigenous practices.
Sustainability, okay.
Yeah, like when they harvested trees, they did it with respect.
Oh, like they had rituals and offerings?
Exactly. Yeah, they understood that they needed to take care of the trees.
Right, because the trees took care of them.
Right. And he explains how this connection between people and trees was woven into every part of their lives.
Oh, yeah, in what way?
Well, they used wood for everything, from cradles to medicines to food.
Wow, so the trees were essential to their survival.
Absolutely, yeah. And he connects this to the importance of sustainability for us today.
That's a really important message.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that we need to learn from these indigenous practices.
Right, to live in balance with nature.
Exactly. And he shares this story about his grandmother.
What at her?
She taught him to have reverence for trees.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and he still feels that reverence whenever he encounters a big old tree.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Those big trees are something special.
They are, and he even mentions a book called The Hidden Life of Trees
Okay.
by Peter Wohlleben.
I haven't read that one.
It's really interesting. It talks about how trees communicate with each other.
Oh, wow, like they have their own language.
Yeah, kinda, and it echoes those indigenous understandings of trees as living beings.
It's fascinating how science is starting to catch up with indigenous knowledge.
Yeah, it is. And finally, River reflects on how technology has disconnected us from nature.
Yeah, that's a big issue today.
But he's optimistic that we'll find a balance eventually.
He thinks we'll find our way back.
Yeah, he compares it to the slow processes in nature.
Oh, like how trees grow so slowly.
Exactly, or how wine ages.
It takes time.
It does, yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into River McCallahan's world, it's clear that his writings are more than just a personal story.
Right, they're a blend of personal narrative, local history, and indigenous wisdom.
It's a really unique perspective.
Yeah, and we get this amazing glimpse into life in Ashley County during the mid-70s.
Yeah, from those everyday moments at the hunting camp and bait shop to those more mysterious encounters like that hidden site.
Right, and what's really cool is how he connects those tangible details of his life with those more intangible aspects.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, things like the bait shop, the still river,
Yeah.
those are all concrete things. But then there's the power of memory, the local legends, that energy he felt at that site, the wisdom of the trees.
Right, those are things you can't really touch or see, but they're just as important.
Exactly. And it makes you think about the layers of stories that exist everywhere.
Right, like what hidden narratives are waiting to be uncovered.
Exactly. So as we leave you today, we want you to consider this.
Okay.
Think about your own local landscapes.
Okay.
What stories are embedded in those places? What hidden histories are waiting to be discovered?
That's a great question to think about.
And what can we learn from people like River McCallahan and those who came before us who understood their connection to the land?
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom out there just waiting to be rediscovered.
So go out there and explore those stories right in your own backyard.
Happy exploring.
All right. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.
See you next time.